Recording. There we are. All right, welcome everybody to AMA on this 10th of May 2022. My name is Firefly, and today, who we have today with us? Well, five people, including myself, Zephyr, Yuri Dev, Carlos,
Oh,
Galactic Bull. Yeah, welcome everyone. So yeah, it's a sort of open discussion. Feel free to ask questions. Don't ask me where the market is going. I have no idea. Carlos is the man to predict the market, so you can ask him. Uh, yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Feel free to ask any questions you might have, and let's chat about some good stuff.
if
This is
anyone could
not
predict the
financial
market,
advice.
Sorry, Carlos.
Advice. This is not financial advice, Firefly. Nothing I give is financial advice.
Absolutely, nobody ever gives any financial advice. I'm fully aware of that.
there is no such thing as not financial advice in this world. It's
Uh,
just an illusion.
exactly.
Yeah, I wanted to ask because I was getting into DeFIRE and just talking here a bit more. So
Hmm?
the first protocol that's going to launch for DeFIRE, you had your first pre-sale, I believe, for the DeFIRE token, if
Correct.
I'm not mistaken.
You're not.
And now you're going to launch your Blaze. Well, the second pre-sale will happen,
Correct.
and then eventually you'll launch Blaze protocol as the first DeFIRE
Hmm?
DAO protocol, if
Yes.
I'm not mistaken.
You're not. All correct.
Oh,
All correct. It might actually also happen that between Sale 2 and the launch of Blaze, there will be also Sale 3 launched. It depends how Sale 2 goes, and if that sells out quickly, then there might be also room to launch another round of sale in between.
cool, cool. A lot of the protocols I've been working with have been interested in this after talking to them about
Ah,
you guys. Yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, glad to hear. I mean, I don't know if you had a chance to read our news bulletin or newsletters that were posted recently under announcement. Um, but over there, I think it's sort of probably the general trend or direction for DeFi. It's either, yes, as Supreme Bit sort of notices in this bulletin, it's either a slowdown, but I would probably say it's more like because we don't see all that many forks as we used to see, let's say 6 months ago, right? Olympus and then Tomb and whatnot. We don't see that many forks anymore, popping up on the market. It's more all the development works being done at the moment on new DeFi is it's like solid new projects that take time to develop because well they build something new or newish rather than using the existing concepts and protocols and then launch a fork. So the general trend, yes, yeah, that there is definitely a slowdown in amount of new stuff coming to DeFi space, but then the work that are being done behind the scenes on developing new protocols is it takes I mean it simply takes longer because well those new protocols need to be developed from scratch or they require substantial development work. So yeah, so there's definitely this change in the market, general market, right? And probably it has also to do with also the market sentiment. I mean, if the sentiment is bullish, then people are probably more keen on jumping on new forks, whether it's a solid project or not solid project, it doesn't matter because everything grows and goes up in the bull market. And when the sentiment is that it is, then I mean nobody is launching forks because they will not survive for very long. So that was just yeah a small comment from my side on that.
No, I agree. I talked to I think he is a relatively competent dev, He but he shares many of your opinions.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I would definitely agree with that. So one of the things I guess this is open discussion. As far as trends in DeFi is going, what do you think of some of the other kind of different ledger technologies aside from blockchain? do you think about? I know we're in the blockchain kind of space, and but there's some rather innovative things going on, like the DAGs and the IOTA and a few other things.
I mean, to be frank, I'm not following those developments all that close. I mean,
Hmm.
there is, sadly, the day is 24 hours, and apart from, spending time on this project and, dedicating some time to the family and maybe finding, 30 minutes to myself to do some stuff,
Breathe. Just breathe.
just breathe, yeah. I mean, then there's simply no time to follow the new developments, right? And yeah,
Hmm.
so I can't really, I don't really have a strong opinion or comment on that one, but feel free if if you
Mm.
have something you'd like to share, you find.
Oh yeah. One of the not I'm not going to say its name just because I don't want to be
No,
rude.
no.
But one of the protocols I work with, they're working with IOTA Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Rather cool stuff they're doing. It's if you the IOTA is a DAC, I guess. I forget what that is called, but it's called the IOTA Tangle. It's a highly scalable, more secure version of a blockchain, and the more congested it is, the faster the transaction speeds go.
Hmm.
Um, so some people call it the evolution of the natural progression or evolution of the blockchain, because it's not actually a blockchain. It's like it's, as they say, a tangle. It's kind of interconnected. Many nodes don't go in a linear fashion; they're in a parallel,
Mm-hmm.
nonlinear. Um, Plus, it has zero gas fees, which is nice, and they're going to launch their DeFi aspects of the in their assembly net mainnet in their Shimmer network,
Mm-hmm.
and they're
Mm-hmm.
going to launch the net DeFi aspects of it now, which is probably going to bring in, like, once the alt season comes or like the market condition improves, around 500 million, half
Mm-hmm.
a billion in
Mm-hmm.
TVL for them. So
Mm-hmm.
it's rather interesting what's going to happen. And one of
Definitely.
the protocols I work is integrating IOTA into their compounders.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, no, rather really cool stuff. And like, even, and I hate NFTs, but most of it's NFTs at the moment, and even those have utility to them, or most of the good ones, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rather bullish and excited about what IOTA holds, given the next few months, what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'm just curious, Carlos and Galactic Bull and Yuri. I mean, are you familiar with IOTA? I mean, have you heard of it? Do you follow it?
Uh,
What I know is it's something called a DAG, so it's a directed
a cyclic,
cyclic graph, yeah, cyclic graph, and it's
yeah.
a support system where individual items link to each other.
Hmm.
So the directed kind of means that the link between the items always have a direction. A cyclic means you can't really create a loop inside of the structure. And so, you know, it sounds kind of complicated, but it's not that complicated. But to really understand once you really want to get into it, but it's pretty interesting. I know IOTA is also trying to be a distributed ledger technology, so um, yeah,
Hmm.
I haven't dug too far into it. To be honest with you, I think I probably, as you saw in my predictions, although it happened a lot quicker than I thought, um, uh, I'm gonna wait to hold off to buy on anything maybe for the next 1 or 2, 3 months. So,
Mm-hmm.
because I just think things are correct, a bigger correction is still yet to come,
Mm-hmm.
believe it or not. But yeah, I think it's something to definitely dig into, and it sounds like Zephyr's pretty excited about it. So maybe he can share
Yeah.
some of the
Yeah.
top things that he's excited about, and you know some of the things that I'm
Oh,
really excited about: EVMs, ZK rollups, and IOTA might be one
yeah.
of them. But
For sure. I would share as more. I will shill IOTA to the stars. No, no,
No.
no, 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 no. I don't believe in, as long as you can sharing projects in a respectful manner is fine. But just kind of dropping, name dropping random things randomly is not something I approve of. Uh,
No, but I mean,
but
but it's definitely interesting to hear about it and then to perhaps explore a little bit more and perhaps to see in a couple of months how this could be also integrated into the DeFire, right? How we could,
oh,
it's definitely the direction for expansion, and we're always thinking of how to expand beyond the initial two
Yes.
protocols. So yeah, definitely there'll be room to explore as well.
So yeah, I'll discuss a bit more if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So one of the current, like, if I had to say, like, oh, what should one do? Let's say think of how would DeFi benefit in the long run if they had to get early, like, kind of into the, IOTA ecosystem. At the moment, I would buy. It just went down to like 38 cents, and then it jumped back up to 42. It's been at its all-time, well, not all-time low. That was when it was 22 cents in 2019. Now, if it does go to 33 cents, that's when I plan to get some, whether it goes down further or not. That would be quite nice. The fun thing about that is, at the moment you're with the way it works is they have its own special wallet called a Firefly wallet. The Firefly wallet has its own unique IOTA address. The IOTA address, you can essentially take the tokens you have, the IOTA tokens, which is kind of leveled into MyOTA, Giga IOTA, and Terra IOTA, and so on and so forth. Basically, for your MyOTA, you can stake it in these kind of pools, and it will generate new tokens for the new mainnet. So the assembly, I guess, would be the test net. Well, Shimmer is the test net and staging that could become its own fork of something. That staking pool is over, and now the assembly staking pool has around 73 days left. Honestly, you can just kind of put like 1,000 MyOTA in there, which is around $333, maybe more if you wanted to, and kind of just stake it and kind of let it go there. Now, that's for personal investors. The IOTA Foundation kind of has this touch point project incubation thing that they're doing that allows you to get marketing contacts or be an investor. All you have to go is to their touch point program and kind of to apply, and that could be potentially something DeFi might be interested in your group. And then they also offer like institutional buys, larger amounts of,
Hey,
and
Zach,
then
I have
what?
just a question. Right? So, reason why you're
I
for
can barely
IOTA?
hear you, my friend. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, it's
Yes, I
better.
can hear you now. Yeah,
Okay,
sorry about
great.
that.
No, it's okay. It's my headphones are connected, but maybe it's not working. So, is the reason why you're so pro IOTA is because really the transaction fee, the no transaction fees, like is that what's getting you excited, or is it
I
really
like
just the
It's a lot of aspects, actually. It's like what the protocols are doing themselves. Like there's Zooniverse, which was just an NFT marketplace before, just announced they're going to be a DAO marketplace now. Now I'm still reading about what that is exactly, but it seems like rather interesting. They're revamping their entire tokenomics, before the launch of the assembly net. I mean, at this point, one could, it will either be very big as a kind of next precursor or next evolution of the blockchain kind of distributed ledger technology, or it'll be just an alternative and, kind of like fade into obscurity. It's hard to say. I'm rather optimistic about it because anything that increases efficiency and ease of entry to a system that's rather hard to get into is good. I know that from one of my personal friends from a central exchange is talking to the IOTA Foundation right now to list their token essentially on their central exchange in Asia. So interesting stuff for the IOTA Foundation. They've been not as big as Ethereum, which makes sense, but I feel like they could probably become a smaller rival or and eventually, maybe in a few years, maybe 5, 6, 7 years, they could actually be at Ethereum's level. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
that's a pretty big thing?
Um, and how, I mean, on a sort of very fundamental level, I mean, how decentralized or centralized the blockchain is, IOTA blockchain is, in terms of.
Yeah. So that.
Mm.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
Yes.
no, I was like, yeah, more like in terms of like, who is basically, approving the transactions, validating the chain, all that
Oh, yeah.
good stuff.
Whiteboard Crypto actually had a good video about this. The validators are actually the people doing the transactions themselves, from
Okay.
my understanding. They have, and for security purposes, they have like some coordinator role, which they did something called core decide, which kind of try to get rid of it. They're trying to basically, in my opinion, trying to be a quasi kind of decentralized. That would be a better word. A semi-decentralized, chain. They'll have some centralized aspects to it, and they'll have some mostly DeFi aspects to it, decentralized aspects to their core leadership. I think that's a good kind of marriage of both worlds. I don't think you should just black and white it and kind of discount one or the other, because they both have their merits and
Mm-hmm.
demerits.
Yeah.
So that's why I like that. Essentially, when as far as the validation goes, it's when one transaction goes through, it validates two other transactions. The faster, the more congested it goes the faster it goes. Is my understanding of it. I would have to.
Yeah.
I'm not a dev personally. I try to think I understand a fair amount, but at the end of the day, I don't want to give people too much misinformation, or
Absolutely.
just. But hopefully I explained it well enough.
Oh, you did. Actually, on that sort of topic of centralization or decentralization, actually, I participate. I heard an interesting sort of conversation or like a podcast, in fact, about. I mean, it is actually unrelated to blockchain or crypto space, but
Hmm.
that guy happened to occasionally tackle different. Listeners' questions, and that was a question about the blockchain technology. And he raised actually an interesting point, or discussed interesting point. His sort of point was when or if we are going to see, big corporations like Amazon, Google, to release their own blockchains, their own ledgers. That they would be the sole validator. They are trusted corporations. They are regulated in the US. Obviously, it is not going to be decentralized. It will be very centralized, but it will be fast. It will be probably efficient. It will be probably low demand on the energy consumption if compare to, let's say, Bitcoin, right, or Ethereum ledgers. So there was actually an interesting thought process that, yeah, I mean, why those big tech giants are not entering that space themselves yet, right? Because obviously now it's all mostly focused around DeFi and crypto tokens, but there will be more applications. Like, I mean, used for signing contracts, approving, not non-financial transactions, finding agreements between different parties, and so on. So yeah, it will be interesting to see if those big corporations are planning on entering into sort of the blockchain ledger space.
Oh, as far as that is concerned, I can't say for certain, but one of the people, and as far as my brother is concerned, he works for formerly he was a executive for Bank of America.
Hmm.
Now the vice executive, at Bank of
Sure,
America, process design and stuff, and then he moved to Wells Fargo because it offered a better pay,
sure.
although banking's fun is all I will say about that. But what he was saying is like, yeah, they are definitely exploring, token, like almost every bank is exploring a tokenized asset or investment kind of thing, or things of that nature, especially their own blockchains. It's only a matter, they're just kind of waiting for the winning kind of, what's the word, the more efficient, easily accessible, and then kind of just copying it
Mm-hmm,
themselves.
mm-hmm,
That's what they essentially want. They
mm-hmm,
want their own chains. Now, I find it rather interesting. A lot of the real use cases of IOTA is why I'm more even bullish on it. It's not just blockchain stuff. It's not
mm-hmm,
just DeFi. It has like a identity verification aspects to it,
mm-hmm,
security,
mm-hmm.
logging the age of, like, I believe one of the use cases they had was logging and validating that this is actual wine, and it's using it ledger as a logging information about specific casks of wine or
Hmm.
bottles, which I thought was also very interesting. They're really doing the Internet of Things thing,
Hmm.
basically.
Yeah, because I fully agree. I mean, the distributed ledger is way more than just the financial services, right?
Oh,
There are
so much,
many,
yeah.
yeah, there are many more applications, and I think we are yet to see those applications, right, to come. Because for now, it's obviously mostly the focus was around finances at the moment,
Yeah.
and
100%.
yeah, yeah.
I believe I have the project list somewhere, of some of the rather neat things. If you give me feel free to anyone to, well, you're the project, you're the DeFIRE lead. Yeah,
But no,
we
but feel
got.
free. I mean, we have a channel. I think it's. I mean, where you can pick whatever. I mean, there must be probably we have a relevant channel that where you could discuss these things. Probably like a market channel, I
I
guess. Yeah, could work.
I would just, honestly, if you wanted to, just discuss about a channel, might as well just make an alpha channel, or like just, a Zephyr specific ranting channel. No,
Right.
no, no.
So no. So regarding secret alpha channels, we have a secret channel for those who are listening. Just rank up to level 1 on our Discord, and you get access to a secret channel where our friend Zephyr is going to post some IOTA alpha for us.
Oh, that's what I'm doing. Thank you good so much for the
Sorry,
permission, sir.
sorry. I was just doing a pitch here, right, to convince people to chat more on our Discord.
Dude, no worries. I'm all there. I will simp as hard as I can. No, 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 no. Let me
Yeah.
go get the projects. It's on their Discord.
Yeah.
I forgot the link.
Yeah. No, no, don't worry, don't
uh,
worry. No rush, no rush. It's whatever works. So no,
oh, no problem.
well, it's great talking about IOTA. Um, but yeah, the Galactic Bull or Carlos, do you guys have some perhaps other questions, DeFi related questions? Any other questions?
Uh,
No, it doesn't seem so. I mean, you guys on mute unless if you're trying to say something, you should unmute yourself. Otherwise, it's also fine.
Let me ask another thing if no one's
Yeah,
going
go.
to,
Of
take it.
course, go ahead.
What's your thought on, okay, generally, the Tomb Forks is, that's kind of where the sphere of discords where I live in.
Hmm?
I but specifically, do you think seigniorage is in itself a bad concept for, DeFi protocols? Like Tomb is essentially a broken, mess code wise. But if someone made a functional one, um, would you think it would be fun, or like not fun? Would it be functional and useful and a nice version of a DeFi protocol?
Well, I mean, we considered in sort of as a part of DeFi ecosystem to base one of our protocols or actually use that sort of similar protocol to Tomb for bootstrapping. But the way we wanted to do it was to instead of having all those different pools, not pools, yeah, but those Genesis pools, we were
Mm-hmm.
sort of considering instead to have like a curated strategy that would be kind of playing the senior edge game in the most optimal way for for the users to benefit from it, right? So we would have so you'd be able so the thought was yeah you come in and you deposit into that strategy and then the strategy follows when there is under peg it does this, when it's above peg it does that, and it follows sort of the 101 manual of how you should sort of play the senior edge game. But
Mm-hmm.
then we sort of, the more we thought about it, that's yeah, it's a great idea. Then it's win-win. Well, it is, but it isn't because all the DeFi space or all the investing space is always a zero-sum game, right? For somebody to make money, somebody else has to lose it.
Yes,
So
that's a good point.
so although we would offer this strategy for like for like not automated but federated senior edge protocol, then there would be no other side, right? There has to be someone that makes an a not optimal decision for you to make an optimal one, and you can benefit from it, right? That's how it works. Otherwise there is no flow of capital, right, from one side to another. So there is no, so the prices, I mean, the prices stay as they are. There is no change. So that then we sort of dropped that idea because then ultimately we would end up just having a mechanism to distribute our DeFIRE token. And then we said, why would we then go through all the hustle of building this protocol to distribute DeFIRE if we just can do a simple sale as we did without having all the gears and hustles of Senior Edge if we want to manage it ourselves, because we didn't want to just launch a fork and use it to distribute DeFi, because well we didn't want to go for all the sort of or we don't want to give advantage or put people to advantage or disadvantage of just being early to those Genesis pools and benefiting from somebody else coming late, for instance, right? Um, so
Oh yeah,
can it work? Probably it can. I think there are ways of making it a little bit more
yeah,
fair, you
yeah,
could
definitely.
say.
So one of my oh yeah, so sorry to interrupt, sir.
No, no, go ahead.
Firefly.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, one of the people, actually from us, one of actually a person who lives right next to me, like 30 minutes or so. Um, he who's the the person in question is he's a rather interesting guy. He's the owner of Kitty Finance, which for I also don't understand why DeFi. Sorry for just a sec. There's a lot of static from I don't know who. Is anyone else hear that, or is that just me?
Sorry, what you were saying?
Sorry, I'm hearing a lot of extra noise, like background wind. Is that just me?
No, no. I was gonna just comment. I'm just here to really listen, but I don't really have much to say. Just I just like to drop in on these AMAs and just pick up on the alpha and
Oh yeah,
see what's
Oh
going
absolutely.
no,
on.
yeah, no problem. I was just hearing a lot of background noise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Apologies.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, Galactic Bull.
That's why I
Well,
was just standing on mute.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, nice
No,
to see you
I mean,
again,
I
Galactic
appreciate you
Bull.
guys. Yeah,
Oh
for
yeah,
sure,
no.
man, for sure.
And then how Steve was telling me about you, man. Like I remember we talked once, but not the point for this AMA. Uh, uh, but the fun thing is, Kitty is doing a V2, or they're trying to
Mhm,
rectify the
mhm,
tomb code.
mhm, mhm,
Um, they basically, I believe, are essentially kind of getting rid of Genesis pools
mhm,
altogether.
mhm, mhm.
The idea is rather interesting. They try to fix the arbitrage, triangular arbitrage bot thing. They also, I don't know the specifics of, but they're doing something with their Genesis pool, which is rather unique. Not Genesis pools, sorry. Their liquidity pools, the
Mhm,
farms.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
So I'm rather, on Kitty, they are an interesting group. Their Discord chat's a bit hard to deal with at times, but they're
Mhm.
wonderful people. Otherwise, their tokenomics lead is very good as well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, definitely there is a potential. I mean, we seriously considered launching or using Tomb as an inspiration for like distributing DeFi token, but then yeah, in the end, it turned out to be for us to be too much hustle and possibly not
just
really offering anything beyond just a simple pre-sale or sale that we could just that we decided to just
Oh
use in
yeah,
the end.
so it's basically just too many cogs, too many trappings. It gets confusing for people, and they kind of just leave essentially. Um,
Yes, indeed, indeed, and also, I mean, we didn't want to, since it was like this traction between, or friction between, like launching, like considering launching a Tomb fork that is possibly rather a short-lived proposition, um, compared to like launching or building something that we want it to last for like a longer time, right? So there was this friction, like like the brand, our brand would like be associated with like a tomb fork, very short-lived, proposition.
Mm.
And at the other hand, we want to offer something that is, like grow your wealth and become financially
Oh,
independent, right? So the two doesn't really complement each other that well, from like the brand perspective, right?
oh, absolutely. I 100%. I am literally staff on a. I guess I really believe the project will succeed. It's just rather different, but it is a Tomb Fork at the end of the day. But I still think it's a better Tomb Fork than most. But
hmm,
if you can solve the long-term utility,
exactly.
long-term use case, then you're going to have a winning ticket.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all in the end, it's what is the utility beyond just being a shares token, which ultimately is, it's just for speculation, right? As the price goes up, you sell, the price goes down, you buy more and you sell higher. I mean, that's only it, speculation, nothing else, right? There is no really utility for most of them. And if they, as you say, if they can offer like a real use case, a real utility for the token beyond just, holding just a financial value, then yeah, that would be great, definitely.
Oh, for sure. At this point, my boss would say, go plug right now. It's like, no, that's rude, and I can't do that.
Hmm.
But, yeah, I back to the, I dropped some links into the secret channel.
Excellent. Thank you.
No
Thank you.
problem. Yeah, I'm happy to do so.
Uh,
They got tamper-proof digital ticketing. In these things, they have plastic waste and green recycling for ecology stuff. They're no network things. Let's see what Web3 domain services, software development. All these sorts of things.
hmm
I
hmm
believe there's one thing that does. Give me a sec. Actually something that does involve NFTs, but is a more of a physical one that has like a wine curating kind of logging thing, which I also thought was pretty cool.
hmm
Um, yeah, but so much stuff is being done on the IOTA, and I'm rather happy with it. I want to see if it succeed. I want to see my friend who helps out the IOTA Foundation succeed as well. So I rather
Mm.
hope bullish on the whole thing.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, I can see we have we had somebody who has joined recently to the call. OJ or OG OJ. Hi, how are you doing? I hope I pronounced the name right.
It might be
Yeah,
Ouija.
it's Ouija. I'm just listening in.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
Ouija.
a genius. I'm a genius.
You are. Hi, Ouija. You have some,
What's
questions
up?
you'd like me to address, or topics to discuss?
No, not at the moment. I kind of missed a bit of what you guys were saying. I've been, here and there popping in and out of
Hmm.
this Discord, but I'm definitely interested. I'm invested.
Excellent.
So
Yeah, good to
yeah,
hear. Oh, yeah, so
I
you are with us for
listen.
quite some time, aren't you?
Yeah, I have been.
You have been. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, we like people that are with us for quite some time. Yeah, I mean that's the ultimate goal of DeFire, to build this community that can stay here for a long time and benefit from the growth of the ecosystem. That's the ultimate goal for this protocol or the ecosystem.
Um, yeah, for as far as the ecosystem goes, more specifically chains and integrations, luckily IOTA has this EVM support, so you can integrate with that if you ever at
Yep.
whatever time wish to do so. But more specifically, like of the more layer one chains, are
Mm-hmm.
well, Ethereum specifically, and
Mm-hmm.
I suppose maybe like Kronos or
Mm-hmm.
even well, you're at what's the other one I was thinking of? The Binance Smart Chain.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the top five chains,
Mm-hmm.
as well as whatever else you want. Well, why haven't you decided to use the Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum at the moment? Um,
Well, so Ethereum, main reason is the gas fee.
mm,
Probably today it's lower than it used to be, but general,
yes,
that would be, I think, the main. There could be like a significant barrier of entry for some
most
investors.
people.
Yeah, most people,
Yeah.
exactly. So for that, we decided not to deploy our sale on Ethereum. That was a plan initially. We had the code ready. It was just few clicks away from deploying it. but then we sort of started thinking, well, it, yeah, I mean, it would be like just, a waste to deploy all those contracts and then see there would be no interest on Ethereum because we also invite people to participate on three other chains. So people could just use the lower gas chains instead, right? If they wanted to participate. So that was the reason for not including Ethereum in the sale. It doesn't mean though that for the
Oh,
strategies
anything.
that we'll have on the Blaze that will not utilize Ethereum. I mean, if Ethereum offers interesting, components to a strategy, we'll certainly
Oh,
gears from
absolutely.
Ethereum. Because then it will be slightly different because that will be the strategy itself that would deploy those funds to Ethereum instead of individual investors having to take the cost of the transaction fees, right, to get to Ethereum, for example. So that's on Ethereum. On BSC, I mean, the main reason we didn't go with the BSC is simply decentralization. We prefer to stay on decentralized chains, and therefore we didn't
Okay.
we didn't we didn't go with BSC. So that was the main reason for it.
Uh, I just was wondering, like, because there's a few protocols popping up that I do find are actually
Mhm.
quite nice and good. And now it makes sense. I was just curious, like, well, it had low gas, financially it's making good sense. Like things are nice and popping up. But yeah, I totally get it now. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah. So, what the questions? You, Zephyr, or anybody else?
I can
Yeah, I
ask
got a,
5 more. Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I
I
got
was
a
Carlos.
just going to joke.
question, Firefly. When are we gonna have the multi-sig vote?
The multi-sig vote. It's a good you bring it up. But you are the only candidate, aren't you?
Well, it's you got to give the people what they want, Firefly. You know what I mean? It's at this point.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I mean, we'll get. I really do hope that we'll find at least one more candidate. So there's like a vote. So it's like not just a vote. Do we like this guy? We don't like this guy, but there will be a vote like, do we like this person more than that person, right? And so sorry, we are
To
definitely not
to be
forgetting you,
honest with
Carlos.
you,
Sorry.
I think it sounds like Zephyr is pretty committed to the community, pretty committed to learning about the protocol,
Oh
making it
yeah,
better.
could be.
Oh, am I being
Zephyr,
nominated for a multi-sig wallet
I
vote,
mean,
are you
basically?
if you want to, I
are
mean, you can
you
nominate
you're open
yourself.
to it?
There is.
I would be very happy. I was talking to Wilder not about this, about actually, the reason I got into DeFIRE,
Mhm,
specifically was 'cause I thought, oh, this is an interesting group. I thought I might chat in here a bit. It was rather quiet when I first entered, admittedly, but it was I'm a community manager, I guess, is the best way to say it. I
mhm,
love the community aspects of
mhm,
DeFi.
mhm, mhm,
They could really improve a lot, though. I come from 5 years of doing this in like a gaming sphere of Discords where people
uh-huh,
kind of did not measure their value or worth. They did things for free. They
mhm,
just kind of did things based on passion of whatever project they liked.
mhm,
So when I wanted to bring that same type of enthusiasm to DeFi when I got into it.
mhm.
So yeah, I immensely love the community aspect of things. If you want me to do it, well, let's see where I am in the next 2 months, maybe a month or so. If I'm still here and around and talking, I would be happy to take you up on that offer or nominate myself or whatever have you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure, yeah, definitely. We've had this nomination process, or yeah, for like I think probably a month now. Uh,
Oh, well, yeah, it
and
sounds like a fun thing.
Yeah, well,
uh,
I mean, understand, it's also some kind of commitment from from your side, or your side from the person who's going to be. I mean, we have two external people on the multi-sig. One is kind of a content creator, Nick Dracon, mostly covering Phantom stuff. And the other one is one of the founders of, I think they're called now Riders of DeFi, I believe.
oh, oh,
Uh,
is it Mr. Snot?
yeah, that's him. So,
Yeah.
so Mr. Snot is, but he accepted to take this responsibility as, temporarily until the community votes on the permanent person on the multi-sig. but fortunately, we found Carlos as the candidate, but we were hoping to find more. So there is like a little bit of competition between the candidates. So far, yeah.
You want to step over on my head, Carlos? You want to make sure like I will
No,
make sure you're glorious and like kind of succeed.
Zephyr, you just sound very young and energetic, and I think that you would be a really great candidate and someone
I
who.
depends. How old are you?
I'm 30.
I am 27. I'm not that
Yeah.
young.
You're a young whippersnapper, man. Let me tell you, those 3 years. No, I'm just joking. So,
Dude,
Yes.
oh no, it's 3 years. When you turn the number turns to 3, then that's when everything goes
it's
downhill.
Oh, it doesn't.
you're,
It
you're
doesn't. I can
100%.
assure you guys.
Firefly, don't lie to him. It does. Literally, it does.
I
Well,
mean,
conflicting opinions and all, but I joke.
look,
You know,
where things start to differ significantly in your life is when you start getting kids. This is where things
Oh my
start
god, yeah.
getting different. Whether you're 20s or 30s or 40s.
I disagree. It's when you get sciatica, guys. It's when you get sciatica. That's
Fair
when
enough.
life goes downhill. It does not when you can have kids, which will, eventually leak you, like suck you dry of all the cash and capital you tried to retain when you were single. But that's when the real measure of when you start having lower back pain. No, joking aside. Actually, this has been a great conversation,
Yeah,
even with the
it
three
was
people.
very, yeah, definitely very good conversation. So yeah, I mean, Carlos, give me a week. I will try my best to find someone to compete with you for the multi-seek. If
Oh,
not,
I nominate Zephyr. I
Oh,
nominate Zephyr.
great. I'm going to run a campaign, guys. I'm going to literally
Do
take
it.
all the people I know from all across the spheres of Discord and have them vote for me. No, 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 no,
well,
no,
the
no,
thing
no.
Do it.
is, you need to have the Flare token to vote. So,
Well, I'm screwed.
no, look,
I tried my best.
you have to convince the holders of Flare token to vote for you.
Zephyr, I'm sure
That
it would not be a heavy lift. I guarantee you that you would win
guys,
that
I'm
one.
going to go to each individual person's DMs.
There you go.
I'm going to, who are you, random spammer? Go away, and they block me.
Yeah, well, the trick is probably you can't, to some extent, probably you can't identify them all because it's
Oh, I probably will. I would just have to, be active in more, presence in DeFire, basically.
mm, mm.
I was mainly joking.
No,
So,
of course you are. And I'm just trying to see. We had a channel for nominations. It was somewhere. Or maybe just.
yeah.
I'll nominate him that. I'll nominate him in that Firefly.
Oh, great! Thank you. I have too many channels on this Discord
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I can see every single channel is like, oh my God, if I have to find something, it's hopeless for me. Oh, there it is, nominations. There we are. um,
If you ever want, at least I can help in that regard. Tokenomics is probably my bane. I mean, I understand them, but I'm very new. I've only been doing this for 3 months. But one of the how I got into DeFi is probably the best answer I can give. It's so much different compared to everyone else's. Um,
so what is it?
uh,
Curious to hear.
okay, okay. What is your reason for entering DeFi, my man? And then I'll give you mine. Like we'll
Well,
see how let's see who wins in this little fake competition.
Zephyr's is pretty unique. Of all the stories, definitely top three for sure.
Oh
It's
wait, did I tell you Galactic Pole? Oh man.
yeah, I was there last time with you and Punchy and also.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you go for it, Mister Firefly.
well,
I want to hear how you got.
it's well for me. It's pretty ununique, I would say. It's simply, well, just to put spare cash into just higher yield than a TradFi would give me. I mean, that was my reason to get into DeFi. So
Oh.
pretty straightforward. Nothing really unusual, I would say.
Okay. Time to like floor you basically. No, I'm joking. But basically what happened was around no, so February 1st of this year, my dog passed away, and I was really trying to find a way to pay off his medical bills, his euthanasia bills. So I got into DeFi that way, and I got like $600. I paid it off, and then I just kept going.
Ah, interesting.
So
Interesting.
luckily my dog got me into DeFi basically.
Your dog got you into DeFi. Yeah, it was good service. Good service of your dog.
It was literally the best gift he could have given me, because now I have like well, I mean, I guess I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I have a few hundred, like almost, potentially, if everything works out with my protocol, a few $100,000 waiting, basically.
Excellent. Yeah.
I'm hoping it will work out. I'm hoping you guys will inject 20K into my protocol, basically, and make me rich. No. No, I'm not that horrible, selfish person. But yeah, but yes, I'm not that kind of terrible guy who would ask people for money. But I really like this community. I love having conversations in Discord. The only thing I can really offer you guys at the moment is a person who's been a community manager for 5+ years, and help you change Discord channels and kind of find projects. But other than that, I don't offer much.
I mean, it really depends. You mentioned it was a gaming community. What kind of games was that? It depends if we like the game.
No, it's actually kind of like a generic, it was a 200. I managed servers and was admins for servers that were, from anywhere from, like a few hundred people to 250,000 people.
Ooh, so World of Warcraft, Warcraft game.
No, it's not like that. No, it would probably be. It was just a generic community. The guy who
Okay.
I worked with,
I see.
not World of Warcraft. I don't touch that. No. But no, it was the biggest server I was ever in was an 890K server. I had no power there, but it was a truly toxic like kind of cesspit. Don't go to that one if you ever can avoid it.
For sure.
But yeah, so I managed the sub admin. I managed a part of a server that was I managed I helped the main admin. He did a lot of things. He brought some revenue. He got paid some of the mods, the leadership. It was rather good for what a gaming community could do. And then what was fun about that server was I managed the international section with a few of the most bilingual mods, and general English North American chat, basically. That was a rather fun and kind of really rewarding experience, talking to people, even though there was a small language barrier, but with the help of the mods who had, who could speak English and whatever, like Spanish or French or whatever have you. It was really nice to talk to all these different people from different walks of life, and I think I could bring that to DeFi. It would be really fun to do that, having like a real international sector, not just some channels that are kind of relegated to afterthoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff for sure. For sure. Listen, I mean, good conversations, but I don't want to keep the recording going for too long because then, well, people are not going to listen to it if we start.
Apologies, my friend. I
No,
will
no, no, no,
stop
no.
rambling and you can end it. Yes.
Don't worry at all. It was good conversation. Anybody else? I mean, some closing thoughts. Galactic Bull, Carlos, and oh my God, again the name Eugene, Luigi. Sorry. So yeah, you guys some closing thoughts, questions, comments?
No, I just seem to have been out to look into this new. I already forgot the Jesus. I already forgot the name. So many things on my mind right now. But I wanted to look into this the things Zephyr was talking about. And
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah,
I'm
sounds
still
good.
waiting. Yeah, I just still waiting on the market to I don't really see things really clearing up, honestly. For me being a bull, honestly, I don't mean to sound bearish, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
things to clear up before I really make some entries. So just really researching right now, really just looking at the things and
Absolutely.
expanding my knowledge.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome.
Yeah, but no, appreciate you guys taking the time, man. As always, some juicy information. Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot. Yeah, well, see you around, Galactic Bull.
All right.
See you later,
All
brother.
right. Y'all have a good
See ya,
one.
man.
Yeah, see you around,
Oh,
guys. Thanks
Michi's
for.
voice is hella deep. My lord.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank.
Ouija left. My I guess all I can say is, since you nominated me, Carlos, is I hope I will prove a challenge. I don't think I will, but let's see if I do.
Yeah,
It's not a challenge, bro. It's not a challenge. It's just. I think you provide a lot of different perspectives and, like I said, a great energy to
That's
the
my
community.
final.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's my final closing thought. I have nothing else. Take it away,
all right.
DeFire leader.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great one.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.